So recently I was doing my usual stroll through the Steam page and I saw that Overwatch 2 was released on Steam. Completely forgot that was happening, but I was curious as to what the reviews were. And oh boy, I expected negativity, but I did not expect overwhelmingly negative reviews. It's obvious that people are review spamming, but it just still goes to show how upset the Overwatch community is. So I decided to take it upon myself to look at some of these reviews, and I must say, for people who don't touch grass, they got some great comedic talent. So here's the first one. The devs respect their players as much as they respect the women in their office. Okay, I'm gonna have to respectfully disagree with this one. I think that they respect women even less because they are just greedy scumbags for players' money. That's just a normal day in corporate America. Now, I don't know about all of you, but I would much rather have someone be a greedy scumbag towards me than experience a percent of the harassment that the female employees experience while working at that company, even experiencing it to the point to where I feel that I have to unalive myself, and then the company I work for just covers it up and pretends like I never existed. I'm not saying greed is good, but you have to be a bottom of the barrel scumbag human being to drive someone to self-deletion and then not even take accountability for what you did. Since we're on the topic of capitalism, let's move on to the next review. I cried at the part when Reaper said bye 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 and locked the new heroes behind a battle pass and scrapped the story mode. Truly the game of all time. Thank you, Activision Blizzard. As much as I think that it would be hilarious to hear Reaper say bye bye bye, I think that Reaper is actually saying die die die. But I think he's not talking to the enemy team during his ult, he's actually talking to the players because playing this game makes you want to die die die. Now I want to take this next section to highlight some of the funny pictures that I found that people put down. Download the game, write a bad review, uninstall the game. Hold on. I can finish this meme for you. I do find it hilarious that PvE was the one thing that was carrying Overwatch 2 hope, and they canceled it only 5 months into the game's life cycle. And the best part is that they knew that PvE was going to be canceled before the game even launched. You can't write this better if you tried. I personally was hyped for PvE as well, and I blame myself because I shouldn't have expected anything else from the company carried by Call of Duty and Candy Crush. Alright, let's move on to the next review. Bad game, good corn. I think I watched Overwatch NSFW content when it first came out, but I've more moved on to the better content of femboys and midget BBW, family reunion, threesome, POV, interracial, virtual reality, ASMR content. I'm a freak, you don't have to tell me. NSFW community carried this game. You know, I really hate thinking of Overwatch NSFW content anymore because whenever I think about it, I think about a long time ago when I had an online group of friends that I used to play games with that I don't anymore. And one day, I don't remember how it started, but one of the guys in the group decided to put his bodily fluids on an Overwatch 1 disc because he was obsessed with Tracer. And well, the rest of the guys were egging him on to send it, and I feel like I was the only person saying, please don't send it in the group chat. And you know, I opened the group chat one day and boom, there it is. In all of its glory? There's nothing like looking in your group chat expecting to see something funny and seeing your homie's bodily fluids. And don't get me wrong, I've been on the internet, I've seen many different things. You know, my prawn addiction is crippling and very saddening, but when it's someone that you know and you're seeing your homie's fluids, it just, yeah. Anyways, trauma aside, literally respect to the NSFW artists that have kept this game alive to this day. Yo, I never realized how much Overwatch adult content is consumed until I started to read these reviews. They're non-stop. No wonder Baldur's Gate has so many sales right now, and I can't wait to see Baldur's Gate characters be in the top prawn category for the next year and a half. The people who make Overwatch prawn work harder than the people who make Overwatch. Okay, as much as I think the Overwatch community is blue-balled as hell, I can't disagree with such a factual statement like this one. Alright, I think that's the last one that I want to read. We'll move on to something else. I somehow purchased Overwatch 1 for $40, which Blizzard then deleted and created this predatory microtransaction simulator instead. It's the same game, but they removed all the stuff you paid full price for in Overwatch 1. If you played Overwatch 1 at launch, this is not only identical, it is the exact same game. Biggest cash grab of the 21st century. When it comes to the microtransactions, this is probably the saddest part of Overwatch 2 to me because gameplay and terrible map design aside, I hate loot boxes. They are literally slot machines that are okay to sell to teenagers and kids. I don't know how the dev team has done it, but Overwatch 2's microtransactions are so expensive and so predatory that I prefer the loot boxes from Overwatch 1. I prefer to constantly open a loot box and see all duplicates than the garbage system they have now. And it sucks because the gameplay is terrible too. Like, if you're gonna have terrible predatory microtransactions, at least have good gameplay. Take a page out of Destiny 2's book for once. Alright, I think I want to go on this next one because it sets up the timeline of Overwatch 2 pretty well. Scam your customers with false advertised garbage games, molester female employees, sell out your pro players to Chinese overlords, molester female employees. I find it interesting that the female employees' poor treatment is in here twice, yet still historically accurate. Get investigated and fined for molesting all of those women. Announce hero is homosexual to cover up abuse. It sucks that the LGBTQ community is being used as a scapegoat and essentially a band-aid solution for all of Activision Blizzard's accusations and poor treatment. Get kicked out of China for being too gay. China has done a lot of terrible things throughout history, but the fact that Blizzard uses the LGBTQ community to cover their ass and then loses money because of it is irony at its finest. Molester woman until she commits to end life. Your hero creation diversity O-meter doesn't qualify for your ESG money. Steal woman's breast milk from the office refrigerator. Out of all the stories that came out, this has to be the craziest one. Like, you have to be next level thirsty to steal a woman's breast milk. Pun intended. Lie to players about PvE mode to sell them battle passes with garbage rewards. Have terrible balancing and make awful gameplay changes. Players abandon your game. Crawl to Gaben and beg for him to save your dying game. All I can offer you is front page advertisement for a week, and you are here. Steam is definitely their last Hail Mary to save this dying game. It won't change anything, and honestly, it's sad to see the game that my friends and I spent so many hours bonding through die due to just laziness and greed. Here's a pros and cons list of Overwatch 2. Pros: it's free now, no battle.net launcher required, even though you still need an account, and truly one of a kind game. Even 7 years later, there is quite nothing like it. And honestly, I'd have to agree. Out of all the esports games that have come out, Overwatch was the last unique competitive game to come onto the scene that didn't copy another game's formula. It brought something fresh. Cons. Now, I ain't reading all this, I'm gonna be honest, but I will say that I do agree that the community is genuinely garbage, and they are some of the most toxic that I've ever seen besides the community that plays League of Legends. I haven't played Overwatch 2 in like 3 to 4 months, so I have no idea, but apparently the game is even buggier now, and that is just amazing. But in the end, I don't really think Activision Blizzard cares that much because they've already got the money. So What else do they have to fight for? But wait, I wanted to save the best for last. This right here is honestly my favorite comment out of all of them. As a person who has lots of sex all the time, I can say that this game is 100% accurate to the having sex like I do every day. This game did not make me horny, however, I am not gay. I just have too much sex with real women to spend more than 15 minutes in this game. On the other hand, I would recommend this game to people who do not have sex, unlike me because I have lots of sex with women a lot. As there is naked women in it and she is naked. She kinda looks like one of my many girlfriends who I have sex with a lot. I have lots of sex. What is happening with this freaking comment? I am also very handsome and women always want to have sex with me because I am very muscular and handsome and very good at video games. All of my girlfriends say I am very good at sex and playing video games and being handsome. One of my girlfriends asked me to have sex with her, but I told her I was playing a sex game instead, so she started crying and became a lesbian and unalived herself because I did not have sex with her. Oh my god. I have sex with women, not men. I am not gay. I am very cool and handsome, so girls always want to have sex with me because I am very cool and sexy. I'm gonna have to censor this. My eggplant is very big, and all of my girlfriends like my eggplant because it is very big and I am very good at sex with my women. Every woman I've had sex with is very sexy, and so am I. I have lots of sex, I am also very handsome and sexy, and I have lots of sex. Ah, man, that was, something. I have no doubt that most Overwatch 2 players, including myself, are not getting any sex. To all my fellow Overwatch veterans out there, this is kind of my send-off to Overwatch as a game. It's been a wild and it's been a bumpy ride, but at least we had some fun along the way. I give it 2 to 3 years for an indie dev to release a Overwatch clone and it be just as successful, if not more.